Hezbollah's latest barrage is rattling Israel's military just as the Iran war rages on. Hezbollah says it fired fresh missiles toward Israel, including the Safed area and the Golan Heights. The group claims a major ambush, saying up to 10 Merkava tanks and 2 D9 bulldozers were hit. And now Hezbollah's chief is issuing a stark warning to Netanyahu, as the IDF weighs a deeper invasion. Amid intensifying cross-border clashes, Hezbollah has launched another round of attacks on Israel overnight. According to reports, the group fired missiles not only toward central Israel, but also in the direction of Safed and the Golan Heights, extending the pressure along multiple fronts. The Israeli military says its air defense system successfully intercepted all of the missiles aimed at populated areas, preventing direct impact on major targets. Military officials add that this is part of a broader pattern, with Hezbollah continuing to fire more than 150 rockets a day since the latest phase of hostilities escalated. Some reports also indicate that Hezbollah claimed to have struck Israel's Kiryat defense headquarters in Tel Aviv, underscoring its effort to signal that even high-level command centers are within its sights. Hezbollah says it managed to lure an entire Israeli armored company into a prepared kill zone along the Taybeh-Qantara axis, drawing the vehicles forward and then springing an ambush once they were fully exposed. Hezbollah's statement read, and I quote, "On Tuesday, March 26, 2006, forces of the 7th Brigade of the 36th Division of the Israeli Enemy Army deployed a remotely controlled bulldozer between the Al-Muhazabat area in Taybeh and the town of Qantara with the aim of reconnaissance and uncovering the positions of the Islamic resistance defenses. The Mujahideen spotted it and gave it time in order to lure the enemy into a well-laid ambush. At 6:50 p.m. yesterday Wednesday, an armored company advanced in a longitudinal formation from the direction of Al-Muhazabat towards the town of Al-Qantara in preparation for capturing it. The Mujahideen, who were monitoring the enemy's movements, waited until all their vehicles were within the well-defined firing range. Upon receiving the order, and with a cry of "O Messenger of God," the skilled gunners launched their guided missiles at the central platoon of the formation, consisting of 4 Merkava tanks and a D9 bulldozer, hitting them with precision and destroying them. While the rear platoon, consisting of 4 Merkava tanks, was deploying a thick smoke screen to conceal its position, the Mujahideen again struck them with guided missiles, completely destroying their readiness before their very eyes, who watched the tanks burning. Simultaneously with the engagement, the artillery support groups of the resistance targeted the command headquarters of the enemy battalions positioned in the Al-Tayyibah project, Rab Thalathin, and Al-Uwaida, as well as the reinforcement forces brought in to evacuate the wounded. The vanguard attempted to continue its advance towards the entrance of the town of Qantara, but our Mujahideen confronted them with direct missile fire, destroying a D9 bulldozer and a Merkava tank in addition to destroying a second tank near the reservoir. This forced the enemy soldiers to abandon the remaining vehicles and attempt to retrieve their casualties, fleeing on foot towards the Muhazabat area. The Mujahideen managed to thwart the enemy's maneuver, inflicting losses on their forces amounting to 10 tanks and 2 D9 bulldozers. They had also thwarted a similar attempt 2 days prior from the town of Taybeh towards the town of Deir Suryen, destroying 8 Merkava tanks." Unquote. This comes as Hezbollah has stepped up its use of rockets and armed drones against Israel once again, opening a more active front just as the wider U.S.-Israeli war with Iran continues to rage in the background.
The military and security strategic centers of the regime in the northern areas of the occupied Palestinian territories were severely and continuously struck by the missiles of the Aerospace Force of the Revolutionary Guards in the 8th wave of Operation Promise of the True Word for, with a blessed or powerful impact code, coinciding with a glorious attack of the Islamic resistance of Hezbollah, and in support of the oppressed people of Lebanon. In this operation, the command center of the Zionist regime's army in the north of Safed, which is responsible for guiding and directing Zionist forces on the northern borders of Palestine, was targeted.
Hezbollah's chief has issued a chilling message, declaring that his forces are ready for a fight without limits. The statement fuels fears of a widening confrontation amid escalating regional tensions.
Sheikh Naim Qassem said, and I quote, "Either surrender and relinquish land, dignity, sovereignty, and the future of our generations, or engage in inevitable confrontation and resist the occupation to prevent it from achieving its goals." People of Lebanon have displaced themselves in contribution to the jihad. endured as sacrificers and resistors, proudly and willingly offering their children, suffering far away from their homes and normal lives to secure a free and honorable future for their homeland and its people." Unquote.
This also comes as a senior Hezbollah official confirmed that the group has been rearming for the past 15 months, preparing for what they call an inevitable confrontation.
وحقيقة خلال هذه الفترة 15 أشهر أو 15 شهرا اللي كان فيها دمار وتهجير وقتل وخطف، كان حزب الله وكانت المقاومة الإسلامية تعمل على تجميع قدراتها، أولا الصاروخية كما ونوعا، ثانيا المسيرات الانقضاضية كما ونوعا، ثالثا القوات البرية بكافة أنواعها.
In southern Lebanon, 2 Israeli soldiers were seriously wounded in separate Hezbollah attacks, highlighting the growing risks for troops operating along the tense frontier. Reports say their patrol vehicle became stuck in difficult terrain, briefly immobilizing the unit and leaving them vulnerable to Hezbollah's fire at the worst possible moment. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu publicly paid tribute to an Israeli soldier who was recently killed in fighting in Lebanon, framing him as a symbol of national sacrifice. The incident marks one of the first Israeli military fatalities in this latest round of escalation, underscoring how quickly the cross-border clashes are turning more lethal. Since Israel widened its offensive on March 2nd, at least 1,094 people have been killed in Lebanon, according to local health officials. More than 3,119 people have been injured across several regions, with many of the casualties reported to be civilians caught in the bombardment. The Lebanese Health Ministry says at least 121 children and 81 women are among the dead, figures carried by Anadolu Agency. In just the last 24 hours alone, officials say 22 more people were killed and 153 others wounded, highlighting how fast the toll is still rising.